Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth, and today is Saturday, July 30th, 2016, and tomorrow I'm going to be heading into downtown Vancouver with the hopes to get a one-on-one with Justin Trudeau at Vancouver's Pride Parade. Now, if you haven't seen it already, check out this confrontation I had with him last year. I'll include links in the description so you can check it out. But this year, I'm sure now that the Liberal leader is Prime Minister, security is going to be a lot tighter. Now, the thing is, Trudeau at Pride in Vancouver tomorrow is not going to be the only thing happening at this year's event. As I filmed Toronto's Pride Parade, and you can check it out in the links below, the Black Lives Matter movement staged a sit-in. They were protesting the fact that cops are included in the parade. And this is now the issue in Vancouver as well. And while I've been away, the local Vancouver chapter of Black Lives Matter have officially requested that the Vancouver police sit out on the event. Now, in an open letter here to the police and the Pride organization, BLM said how they're not going to attend Pride, not even as protesters, unless the VPD voluntarily remove their float. And their reasoning? It perpetuates an unsafe atmosphere for the very same Indigenous and Black communities the Vancouver Pride Society has committed to intentionally include. Now, Vancouver police, while obviously not provoking BLM, have just ignored their request, and they are committed to attending this parade. However, they did have some discussions with the movement where they did agree on excluding an armored truck that was supposed to be featured. And the reasoning behind the Black Lives Matter request, according to Vancouver co-founder Cicely Bell Blaine, was that Pride was supposed to be a protest against institutions like the police. Well, actually, Pride started off as a protest against state aggression against homosexuals. It was a protest for the same rights as heterosexuals, not against the police as an institution. And the inclusion of the police should be looked at as a sign of victory for the Pride movement, because it means they've overturned social taboos and even the law. You know, it'd be like cops smoking joints at 420. A victory for a group of people who have a single niche agenda. But of course, Pride, especially Vancouver Pride, have become a corporate cesspool where the message is less about homosexual rights and more now about promoting cultural Marxism. Which leaves us in an interesting position here. For starters, regardless of what you think about homosexuality, the fact is the Pride movement has become a bastion of leftist thought and Marxist infiltration. It should be rejected on those grounds alone. And second, the police are agents of the state. In the fight against tyranny, the first roadblock after the complacent minds of the masses are the police officers who obey every order because the law is the law. Well, at the risk of ticking some people off here, I'll just go ahead and say it. Good on Black Lives Matter for negotiating with the VPD and getting that armored truck removed from the parade. I mean, cops, especially in Canada, shouldn't have military equipment, and they definitely shouldn't be flaunting it during a peaceful parade. And as well, kudos to the BLM chapter in Vancouver for doing this before the parade started, as opposed to Toronto's group of domestic extremists where they just staged a sit-in and refused to move until Pride agreed to their demands. And now what a lot of people are saying is, don't all lives matter? Well, we're told it's not that simple. We're told that it's like as if we all sat down for dinner and Bob, who represents Black Lives Matter, doesn't get any food. So Bob might say, hey, I need food, which is like saying Black Lives Matter. And by saying all lives matter, we're saying, yeah, Bob, we all need food, ignoring the fact that Bob doesn't get any food. But that analogy breaks down in reality. For starters, statistics show that it's mostly blacks killing blacks, and in urban city neighborhoods. But there's more media coverage of white cops killing blacks Just as there's more media coverage of mass shootings than there are of armed citizens that prevent mass shootings. Or anytime there's an attack in Europe, the media focuses on that but ignores the genocide in the Middle East. And furthermore, if we expand this analogy of the dinner table and how Bob or BLM doesn't get any food while everyone else does, we can see who's really at fault here. Who's the cook? Who delivers the food? Who's the waiter? Who owns the damn restaurant? Why isn't Bob getting any food while the rest of us are well fed? The issue, guys, as always, is the state. It's the state's monopoly on law and order, on policing services, and control over prisons and the legal system. That's the issue. It's not black or white, left or right. It's the state versus you and me. But that's a viewpoint I can guarantee you're not going to hear at this year's Pride. So be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. I'm going to be covering this event tomorrow, so stay tuned. And also check the description to find out how you can join us here as a PFT member or as a PFT patron. And if you have it within your means, please consider making a donation. We need your support to be able to continue doing this kind of work. So thank you guys for watching. This is Dan Dix, reporting for Press for Truth. So the Black Lives Matter protesters were saying, Black Lives Matter here too. Black Lives Matter here too. It's similar when the Pulse nightclub shooting happened. They had a candlelight vigil and they showed up there and hijacked that event as well. It's pretty sad.